Good evening and welcome into Casey Field for tonight's Valley Baseball League matchup between the visiting Charlottesville Tom Sox and your Covington Lumberjacks. I'm Richard Terry. I'll be joined in the booth shortly by yesterday's starter, Lucas Rodriguez. Lucas will provide me with some wonderful color commentary. But for now, we await first pitch. Game time is 7 p.m. tonight due to some rain early in the day. But we'll have starting lineup for both the Lumberjacks and the Tom Sox shortly. Again, welcome into Casey Field here in Covington, Virginia for today's matchup between the Covington Lumberjacks and the visiting Charlottesville Tom Sox. We have the lineup here for the Tom Sox, leading off second baseman from Liberty. He's been one of their best hitters, Xavier McCory. Batting second, it's another MC name. At third base, it's Grayson McCollum. Batting third from Ball State. In right field, it's Tommy Landsness. Batting fourth from Auburn, one of the many Auburn players on this Tom Sox team, DHing Caden Combs. Batting fifth, he's from Charlottesville, but he plays his college ball at Georgetown. It's the catcher, Dom Caffarillo. Batting sixth from Seminole State, shortstop Chase Jackson. In left field, batting seventh from Shippensburg, it's Lucas Ream. Batting eighth, I actually happened to play him in high school, first baseman Luke Craddock. And then batting ninth in center field from the local UVA, it's Bryce Neely. On the mound tonight for the Tom Sox, it's Nicholas Corse, and I'm going to let Lucas Rodriguez tell everybody a little bit about Mr. Corse. Lucas, what do you got on today's starter for the Lumberjacks?
Of course, he's a great arm, great guy off the field, of course. Actually, we've gotten really close like this past couple, 2-3 weeks, but now he's big build, he's good. He runs that fastball up to 92, 94, and he was at Pasco Hernando this year, which they were a powerhouse in the JUCO conference down south in Florida. And he's got good stuff. He's got an electric changeup, so we should see. It should be a good day for him today for sure.
When we've been winning, we've only had one game to where we've won in this stretch that we've been 4-1 in at home. When we've been winning here at home, we've been managing to limit the runs from other teams. I think Waynesboro scored 4, but besides that, it's been two 2 runs, 1 run, really limiting the bats from the other side. What does Nicky need to do today to really keep these Charlottesville bats quiet?
I think not only today, but in general, is just get ahead. You get ahead, and the percentages of them getting hits when you beat them to the 1-2 count, it's over. Like, realistically, they're hitting a buck something, so you just got to pound the zone, get ahead, and when you get ahead, you got to stay ahead.
You showed it yesterday. You showed it yesterday when you had your 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, only 1 run.
Yeah.
Hope to see something similar today from Course. He gets Xavier McCory to lead off. McCory is from Charlotte, North Carolina, not Charlottesville. He splits it off and sticks with the North Carolina city. McCory comes into this game with a .491 on base percentage. Yesterday against the Turks, they had a leadoff hitter who had a .490 on base percentage as well. Let's see if Course can keep him on base. This one's going to be grounded to the first baseman. Levesque has little trouble with it, but the flip to first is in time. 1 pitch, 1 out today for Nicky Course. It's a great start, and similar to what we saw yesterday. Harrisonburg came out swinging, and besides a solo shot in the first inning from Goliams, they really didn't have anything. A lot of strikes were thrown in that ball game, and some late traffic didn't allow Harrisonburg to take over. It was a 6-2 victory for your Lumberjacks. They bring up Grayson McCollum from Kennesaw State. As Course fires his second pitch of the ball game, it's a fastball that misses low and away. Behind the dish for the first time this season for your Lumberjacks is Kelvin Pereira. Pereira has DH'd in 2 ball games. This is his 3rd straight game that he's played in. He started against Purcellville, had a home run yesterday against Harrisonburg. He receives this pitch here from Course that misses up in the zone. So tell me about the repertoire that Course comes with. I know he's got a fastball. I've heard he's got a kick change. Is that a slider that he has?
Yeah, like a slider, gyro-ish kind of. And he's got good stuff. I mean, you just play everything off the heater, and honestly, that changeup is his. I want to say that changeup is his bread and butter. So I'd love to see a lot of those today. I was watching it in the bullpen today. They looked electric, so should see.
Looking to set up the changeup as he goes high fastball, swinging a miss from McCollum, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. McCollum, a lot of at-bats this season, 76 in total. As he swings at a fastball on the outside part of the plate, this one's going to trail out of play to the right side. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So back-to-back fastballs. We saw a couple of off-speeds early in the at-bat. Do you think he goes back to the heater or maybe an off-speed here?
I don't know. He was a little late on that swing, so I don't know. Maybe lift it up a little bit more. In at the hands, try to blow him up.
Can Nicky Course do what Lucas Rodriguez did 6 times yesterday? Readies for the 2-2 pitch. From the stretch, here comes Course. He goes with a high hitter, but that one a little bit too high. It's a full count. Course has 1 start this season. It was at Harrisonburg. He went 2 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Here's Course' full count pitch. It's a fastball that misses away, and Charlottesville has the first base runner in the ball game. Bring up Tommy Landsness. Landsness from Ball State. Last time these 2 teams squared off, he was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Good speed at first base in McCollum. He's stolen 7 bags. This is a very solid running team. 60 stolen bases on the season. We have yet to see Pereira have to throw against anybody on base. Of course, this is his first time catching. So I'm going to miss on the first pitch that Landsness sees. Last time we saw Charlottesville was Jacob Smith on the mound, and Smith did a really good job against the right-handed batters. Had a few issues with lefties in the lineup, but really mowed down the right side part of the plate. Of course, has Landsness 0-1. Colin will lead off at first base, the 0-1 pitch. Perfect spot, right at the knees, and it's 0-2. So this would be a good spot to throw the changeup, but also a high fastball available, right?
Yeah, just nothing near the zone. I mean, you could go any which way here possible.
Of course, is going to throw over to first, make sure McCollum stays put.
But at the same time, these guys are swinging wood bats, so it's like there's a little bit more margin for error, but at the same time, you don't want to give up a hit right here.
Lumberjacks have turned 11 double plays on the season. The 0-2 pitch to Landsness is a swing and a miss. There's that changeup. Nicky Course has his first strikeout of the ball game. So if you could explain it without showing, how would you explain Nicky Course's kick change?
It's awesome. It just falls right off. It's great. It's like that's a pitch where it's like a field pitch that you need to like. That pitch, you and that pitch need to be like best friends for a little while before it starts showing up in games. But once you get it and you can actually find the feel and what exactly you have to do to make that pitch do what you want it to do, it's good from there. Like it just falls off. Like sometimes you can get like a dump off, like a kind of like a splitter, or sometimes you could just get like an airbender changeup. So it kind of just depends on what it is. Fun fact: I know that Nicky, he grows out only his middle finger nail just to throw his kick change. So all of his nails are short except his middle finger is super long.
Some interesting tactics from Nicky Corse on the mound. He faces Caden Combs, and that off speed's going to get away from Kelvin Pereira a little bit elevated on that one. That'll be a wild pitch that allows McCollum to advance. But do you do anything like that, Lucas? Anything that's maybe out of the ordinary?
I do have to have for my sweeper. I do like my index finger and my middle finger like a little bit long, but like nothing crazy.
Right.
Definitely just like sturdy. I don't like feeling the ball on my skin. I like feeling it on my nails.
Of course, there's a 2-0 count here to Caden Combs. Combs only 27 at bats this season. He's been solid for the Tom Sox. His 3-0 count as that fastball misses away. Combs last time these two teams squared off was 0 for 4 with a strikeout, grounded into a double play as well. Of course, going to make him 0-5 on the season against the Lumberjacks. He's got a long way to go here. The 3-0 pitch is a fastball in there for strike one. Combs only sporting a .259 batting average, but he has the on-base percentage all the way up to .447. Looking to work his 9th walk of the season. Of course, looking for the 3rd out of the inning to get the Jacks bats up to the plate. 3-1 pitch to Combs is a fastball that forces a late swing from Combs, and now a full count. A couple of guys have really looked off kilter against the Corse fastball, especially when it's been in the zone. Another at bat where Corse has everything to his disposal. Grayson McCollum is into second base. He walked and then reached second on a wild pitch. Nothing hard hit put into play yet by the Tom Sox. Full count pitch is an off speed that misses inside to Combs. Second time this inning, a walk. And that'll bring up Dom Caffarillo. Caffarillo, the first person in this Tom Sox lineup who did not play in the game on Tuesday where the Tom Sox lost to your Lumberjacks. Caffarillo did play in their most recent game against Harrisonburg. He was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Speaking of that Harrisonburg game, Lumberjacks seem to have lit a fire underneath the Tom Sox. After that loss here at Covington, they've won 2 straight, both being of the run rule variety. Caffarillo swings with McCollum at second and Combs at first base. Of course, his 0-0 is a fastball that misses up in the zone. Of course, had a relatively high-pitched count at Harrisonburg after 2 1/3 innings. Turned that game into a bullpen game for the Lumberjacks. It was back and forth after Corse got pulled. 1-0 pitch to Caffarillo is fouled down the right side, and that'll end up out of play. 1-1 strike to the right-handed hitting catcher from Georgetown. Caffarillo, just like Combs, who hit in front of him, not necessarily great in the hits category so far this season, but has managed to reach base. 1-1 pitch as McCollum takes off for third. Pereira's going to let him go. Changeup misses low in the zone, and it's 2-1. I wonder right there, you see a guy behind the dish in Pereira who hasn't caught anybody this season for the Lumberjacks. How difficult is it to kind of create that field between these two guys?
Kind of just depends. Like, you got to talk a little bit before the game. With me, I've had Cross 3 weeks in a row, and so now Cross knows exactly. Like, it was quick with Cross though. He learned my tendencies like super fast. But with these guys, I mean, Kelvin is an SEC catcher, so like I'm sure he can adapt to just about any different pitcher he can in a matter of like a couple innings, I want to say.
Of course, his 2-2 pitch is a fastball that just misses outside. Seems today that outer edge is not going to be working for the Lumberjacks pitchers. It'll be a full count pitch now to Caffarillo. Caffarillo reached twice in their game yesterday against Harrisonburg, none via hit. Corse needs to live around the zone here. Full count pitch is a fastball. This is inside. Bases loaded now on 3 walks by Nicky Corse. So Now KP's going to go out there and talk, and it looks like Rennie's going to make his way to the mound as well. Conversation like this, what's going through the head of the pitcher and then everybody else that's involved?
Just trying to get back into it. Trying to get one pitch away. Just you're one pitch away. You just got to make the right pitch and just settle down, get back in the zone. It's tough. It's easier. It's definitely easier said than done. Sometimes when you're out there and your brain's going at a million miles an hour, and you kind of feel like there's no ending to the throwing balls, but you kind of just have to come back to reality and realize that all you got to do is throw that ball over the zone.
Of course, there's one out away from ending this inning, but last time the Lumberjacks were in a spot like this at home in the top of the first, it was against Strasburg, and Strasburg took what was a one-run inning and really widened the gap pretty quickly. Of course, is going to have to bear down here against Chase Jackson. Jackson has played in one of the last 3 games for the Tom Sox against Stanton, which was 2 games ago. Excuse me, it was last game, I should say, for the Tom Sox. He was 2 for 4, but he had 4 RBIs. This is a 4 RBI opportunity. Let's see if Coors can win it. His 0 pitch is a fastball low. Jackson on the season, 7 walks to 13 strikeouts, sporting a .222 batting average. Another situation to where if you look at the stats department, it seems the Coors should really try to stay in the zone. No one's going to get inside. It's 2-0. So far this inning, only 1 ball put in play for the Tom Sox. It was a ground out to Frankie Clark it was a ground out to Jake Levesque to begin the ball game. Of course, having to find it here. Ready for the 2-0. That's a fastball low and away. Early on in the ball game, of course, nobody up and warming for the Lumberjacks. This is, of course, his inning to finish. There's a long way to go here in this at-bat as 3-0 delivery, the fastball way up and in. 4-pitch walk to Chase Jackson, and the Tom Sox lead here in the top of the first inning, 1-0. Lucas Ream now the batter for the Tom Sox from Shippensburg University. He played the last time these 2 teams squared off. He was 0 for 3. Overall, Charlottesville really not having a great hitting season at all. They entered with the 12th worst batting average, 11th worst on-base percentage, and 12th worst slug. 0 pitch to Ream is straight back into the iron fencing. It's an 0-1 count. Is looking to find it here. His 0-1 is a slider that drops in, and it's 0-2. That's really the pitch right there, right, Lucas? You know, if he can live around the zone, especially with those off speed, it'll make the batters a little bit more uncomfortable at the plate.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, 0-2 to Ream. Ream has struck out 10 times this season. Coors looking for a second strikeout and to strand the bases loaded here in the top of the first. Here it comes. It's off speed, low and away. That kicks off the shin guard of Pereira and up the third base line. That could have been a lot worse. Luckily, the slower base runner of Caden Combs at third base, unable to advance. It's Combs at third, Caffarillo at second, Chase Jackson at first. All 3 have reached via walks. There's been 4 walks this inning by Coors. Needs to make 1 pitch to end the inning. Here he comes from the stretch with another 1-2. He kicks and deals. Fastball that's fouled straight back. Really seen a comfortable Tom Sox swing so far. Is when Coors has hit the strike zone, it's been that outer edge with the fastball. There's another opportunity here to get the upper hand on Ream. It's a sign from Pereira. Ready's from the stretch. Front foot kicks up, and here's the pitch. Fastball that's lifted first base side. This is going to be too shallow and bounce into the Covington dugout. Coors is going to be forced to throw another pitch. We're already exceeding the 30-pitch mark here in the first inning. Mentioned he had only gone 2 1/3 at Harrisonburg. Well, that doesn't matter much if he can get the out here. Ream ready's in the batter's box. Another 1-2. It's a fastball yanked away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Charlottesville doesn't have a hit on the board, but they lead 1-0. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 3 runners on base for the Tom Sox. Of course, looking to find his 3rd out. Now, an off speed that's going to get away from Pereira. It'll be 2-0 Tom Sox. Now an open base at first. Andre Jones is up and warming in the Lumberjacks bullpen. He's had a game this season that he came in the first inning and had to ride it out. You hope that that's not the case, as this is one of 3 games left to play in the weekend. Full count pitch to Ream. Fastball line to the third baseman, Mason Reed. First hard hit ball of the inning, and it's a line out. Charlottesville manages 2 runs on 4 walks and a wild pitch. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Charlottesville leads 2-0. Bottom of the first we go. Frankie Clark leading off for your Lumberjacks. They trail 2-0, but this is the Covington team that when they've been going, the bats have been on fire early on. Yesterday against Harrisonburg, it was 4 straight innings with a run. In total, 5 runs through the first 4 against a very solid Harrisonburg squad. They get Evan Allwine today. Allwine, just like Nicholas Corses from Pasco Hernando State College. First pitch to Frankie Clark is a ball that misses up in the zone, and we'll quickly go through the lineup for your Lumberjacks. Frankie Clark leads off. It's Chris Carroll in the 2 spot. Batting third is Cross Yarborough. Batting fourth is Darius Brown as Allwine finds a fastball in the zone. Batting fifth is Calvin Pereira. Batting sixth is George Pardo. Batting seventh is Jake Levesque. Eighth is Mason Reed, and ninth is Emery Stevens. Allwine's 1-1. Frankie is inside. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Frankie has been electric in a stretch that has seen him raise his batting average all the way up to .318. Frankie at one point in the season had an .083 batting average. 2-1 pitch from Allwine. Fastball that he's going to ground to the shortstop Jackson. Jackson ranging to his right makes a high throw off the bag. Clark is safe. It's going to be an error on Jackson. And another leadoff base runner for the Lumberjacks. Lucas, you're a fiery guy on the mound. How do you react when you see things go maybe a little bit wayward behind you on the defensive side?
As in errors?
Yeah.
It's tough because like obviously like nobody wants to make an error. The same way we don't want to throw balls, and the same way nobody wants to strike out. So you kind of just have to like. My biggest thing is just controlling.
I went up in the zone to Carroll.
My biggest thing is just controlling what I can control, and that's like not even in baseball. That's just anywhere. Like you just can only control what you can control, and if it's out of your control, it's out of your mind. Like it doesn't really matter. So.
Chris Carroll in the batter's box is all one throws to first base. Something that the Lumberjacks have been able to control incredibly well is their base running aggression. 88 stolen bases, which is first in the Valley Baseball League. Frankie Clark at first base has 8 stolen bases. And in the batter's box, Chris Carroll has 20. That's a hard grounder straight to the third baseman to Column. Return throw from McCory to first base is in time. It is the 15th double play turned by the Tom Sox, and quickly 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Well, it's funny, you mentioned that on the mound you just got to control what you can control. An error and an incredible defensive play to kind of turn things around for Charlottesville. Yeah. Just like that, 2 outs, and Cross Yarborough in the batter's box. Cross is somebody who can give the Lumberjacks a run with just 1 swing of the bat. 0-0, swing and a miss on the slider. Cross his batting average all the way up to 400 now. Slugging in a 525 clip. Yesterday was 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Grounds that one out to the shortstop Jackson. He has a chance to redeem himself. He comes in, makes the throw. This time it's at head level and catchable for the first baseman Craddock. A 1-2-3 inning around a double play for the Tom Sox. We head to the top of the second. 2-0 Tom Sox. Luke Craddock will lead off in the top of the second inning, where Nicholas Courts will look to get a quick inning after a rough top of the first. It saw the Tom Sox take a 2-0 lead. This is an interesting day to play a baseball game for Charlottesville, as they see another of one of their prestigious players from the past get called up to the big leagues. Cooper Ingle earned his call-up yesterday in the Guardians organization. He was the number 68 prospect in all of baseball. Played his college ball at Clemson. After spending some time in Charlottesville in 2021, he's up in the bigs. Of course, his first pitch to Craddock is a fastball fouled straight back. Luke Craddock, I have some familiarity with. Can't tell you exactly when, but we stumbled across Highland High School a couple of times in my high school career. There were summer scrimmages, and Highland always got the upper hand because that school out in Warrenton, Virginia, they produce a mass of talent. Craddock made way from Warrenton, Virginia to ECU as he takes an off-speed outside. Maybe more surprisingly is that with how good their baseball team is at Highland High School, it's a basketball player that has them very well known right now, Nate Ammon, who was recently drafted, came out of Highland High School as well. Craddock swings at a 1-1, is going to ground it for the shortstop Stevens. He comes around the baseball, makes a strong throw to first for out number 1 at the top of the second inning. So, Lucas, Bryce Neely, who's going to bat here for the Tom Sox, he's a local guy. He's from UVA. I'm curious from your perspective as somebody that did have to make a long journey for this summer experience, how's that been kind of getting comfortable not just with the town, but with playing baseball so far away?
Oh, honestly, like, this is my second year in Covington, and I'm not gonna lie, I love it here. I love it. But I did go to the University of New Orleans my freshman year, so that's really far from home. So I'm already used to like living by myself and not having my parents around and being far from everything and not having like the resources that I have at home. But honestly, it's good. It's good for character. It makes everybody.
Flies one straight out to the outfielder Pardo for an out number 2 here, and just like that, similar spot for Course. Now, do you think that sometimes pitchers might have a block that they get to when they get to a certain part of the ballgame? For example, so on the first inning, Course gets 2 outs, and then all of a sudden everything kind of starts to unwind. Is that something that's real for pitchers?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen guys that can get the first 2 outs in 3, 4, or 5 pitches, and then they just can't get that 3rd out, and it's kind of just like. I don't know. It's a very that's obviously a mental side of the thing, because if you can get the first 2, you can definitely get the last one. Man. So maybe it's just staying locked in a little bit more, or just I don't know. Sometimes stuff just happens. Like yesterday, I didn't have control issues at all, and in like the 6th inning, I started walking guys, and I didn't even know what was going on.
Of course, looking to get McCory out for a second time as it's a first pitch fastball right at the knees for strike 1. McCory first time up, grounded out to the first baseman Levesque, who flipped to Nicky Coors covering the bag. Corey is one of the guys that you would expect to have a big game if Charlottesville is to continue a decent offensive production. 1 to McCory is an off-speed in the dirt. Corey on the season, batting average was lower a little bit after his first debut, but he came in 326, 491 on base percentage. The only thing that's technically low is a 372 slug, but you reach base like he does, it's a scary sight. Coors looking to stay ahead in the count as 1-1 as a swing and a miss. 86 miles per hour had McCory out in front, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. McCory has worked 14 walks. He struck out 7 times. Coors looking now for his 2nd strikeout of the ball game. This would be big if Coors could escape the 2nd inning on a limited pitch count. Here comes the 1-2. It's a fastball up in zone. So after seeing that fastball, we've seen a few of them. You think change up here?
Yeah. I mean, fastball up, you try to snap one in there or go away and go with the changeup. Depends. I know Nicky loves that changeup. That changeup is electric, I will say.
Let's see if he can add some jolts to the Covington crowd. He goes with a high fastball, a swing and a miss by McCory. And that'll do it for the top of the 2nd inning. After a rough top of the 1st, Nicky Coors goes 1-2-3 against the Tom Sox. 8-9-1. That'll bring up 4-5-6 for your Lumberjacks. It's Charlottesville, 2-0. Darius Brown leads off the bottom of the 2nd inning. And Allwine out for his 2nd inning of work. Allwine managed a 1-2-3 inning in only 8 pitches, but Covington still had a little bit of traffic. Frankie Clark reached to lead off the top of the 1st. Let's see if Brown can reach here. It's an off-speed on the way for strike 1 against Brown. Clark reached on an E6, and then Chris Carroll grounded into a 5-4-3. One of those what can you do double plays as he hit that ball as hard as he could. a 1 to Brown is a fastball outside, and it's 1-1. Darius in yesterday's ball game was 2 for 3 with a double and 2 walks. 1 to Darius. Swings and a miss at an off speed. It's 1-2. Imagine that Allwine will look to stay ahead with an off speed here. He has it after 2 off speeds have caught the zone. Brown has struck out 9 times this season. It'll be 10 as the off speed catches the outer edge, and Allwine begins the bottom of the second inning with a strikeout. That's the first of the ball game for Allwine, and if he wants to get Kelvin Pereira out, he's going to have to look for a strikeout. As when Pereira's put the ball in play this season for the Lumberjacks, it's been hit very hard. Kelvin 2 for 10, does have 4 strikeouts, but his hits a double and a home run. Swings at a first pitch fastball up and in. Got a little bit in on the hands. It'll stay up in the air for Lucas Ream, and it's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second for Mr. Allwine. So now as a pitcher on the mound, Lucas, after seeing those 2 quick outs, do you really look to bear down here against Pardo and really hammer in that strike zone, or does the mentality shift a little bit with 2 outs?
Nah. Try to get in and out. It's a race to the dugout. In and out.
His first pitch to Pardo is a off speed that's lifted into right field, and that is a very quick inning for Allwine. 1, 2, 3. Go the Lumberjacks. We head to the top of the third. It's 2-0 Tom Sox. Top of the third inning, leading off for the Tom Sox, it's Grayson McCollum. McCollum, one of 2 runs to score in this ball game. He walked. It's just the only way that anybody's reached base in this ball game is via walk or an error. It's a good thing for Course. He knows that he can pitch to contact and let his defense make plays. Maybe a little bit scary is right now. Allwine on the other side is getting quick outs from the Lumberjacks lineup. First pitch from Course misses away. It's 1-0 to McCollum. McCollum worked his 9th walk of the season last AB, and it's honestly not that high of an amount for a guy who has the amount of at-bats that McCollum does coming into this game with 76. Another fastball misses away for Course, and it's 2-0. Course already 4 walks. He's managed 2 strikeouts, but you'd wish that maybe he kind of turns into the type of the pitcher that Allwine's been with the contact. To McCollum's inside, and it's quickly 3-0.
Those are not bad at all.
Not bad misses. And when those happen, I can only imagine how frustrating it is as a pitcher because you feel like you're there, and then you look up and see you're behind 3-0. Here comes a 3-0 from Course. It's a fastball that does catch the outer edge, and that's where it's kind of tough because you get that strike call maybe because of the 3-0 count, but at the same time, it's a fastball earlier in the AB that seemed to be
Same spot.
right in that same spot. So, Coors going to have to try to live on that edge. 3-1, a swing and a miss from McCollum, and now it's full. And that's just baseball being a funny sport. McCollum maybe seeing that previous fastball, thinking that he'd get another one in the same spot, but he swung and missed. Now, Coors has an opportunity to get an out with this pitch. Here comes the payoff. It's going to be popped straight out of play. And then, of course, talking about how frustrating things can be as a pitcher, you're down 3-0, you get 2 strikes, you think you make your pitch, and then boom, it's fouled out of play. And you got to keep going. Baseball can be a very debilitating sport, but can also increase the morale, of course, if he can get the out here. Here comes the 3-2. A fastball that's chopped to Coors. He'll pick it up and flip to Levesque at first. A big-time first out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Very, honestly, lucky bounce. It was fouled. I don't know if you saw where that bounced, Lucas, but that bounced basically on the outside of the left-handed batter's box and ended up coming back into fair territory. So 1 out, and that'll bring up Tommy Lansness. Lansness' first time up, a strikeout. Of course, showed that changeup that he loved so much against Lansness. We wonder if we'll see it again here. His first pitch, it's a fastball that misses inside. In the VBL, you'll get a variety of umpires, and no zone is the same. Course is going to have to find what this home plate umpire's comfort zone is. As it's 1-0 to Lansness. Tries to go to the slider, and that one, this is way away. Two 2-0 to Lansness. Lansness staring directly into the eyes of the Course as he's very open in his stance. Throws that one back, and it's 2-1. I'm going to go back to the 1-0 pitch. It was an off-speed that missed away. It seemed that Coors was really trying to focus on the outer edge. You're a guy that really likes to go inside with your slider to lefties. Is it difficult for right-handed pitchers to do that?
Like a backdoor slider?
I'm saying you get it right on that back foot.
Yeah, but there's like a happy medium because if not, you yank and you hit him.
Yeah.
But you kind of just like, I don't really think too much. I just try to throw it as hard as I can and just see if something cool happens.
Fastball missed up to Lansness. It's now a 3-1 count. Lansness struck out his first time up. He's looking to be the 5th runner to reach for your walk, and he'll do it right there. Yeah. They can't see you motioning, but I'll tell everybody who's listening what you're doing. You keep kind of trying to show Coors to get his arm down. Is that something that's a difficult change, or is it one where it just kind of clicks on the mound?
No, it just like it's like a feel. I mean, those misses up it's just release point.
Right.
It's the quick fix. It's just in game. It's a little bit more difficult than in a bullpen.
Right. Kenny Combs now the batter. Combs swinging first pitch. Fastball in the zone that's fouled straight back. Combs walked his first time and reached on a wild pitch. Last runner to score in the top of the first for the Tom Sox. And something that I've talked about a few times on these broadcasts, it's difficult not only from being in-game versus the bullpen, but the mound also is something that a lot of pitchers aren't accustomed to. Not much of a slope on that mound. No. 0-1 from Coors, swing and a miss by Combs, and it's 0-2. So you said you pitched here last season too. How many starts did it take for you to really get comfortable with the mound?
I think my first start, I was a little bit uncomfy. It was actually against the Turks.
Okay.
And then by my second start, I was fine with it.
See if Coors has a feel now. And a 0-2 count to Combs. It's a fastball that's going to be flown out of play on the right side. Will be another potential strikeout offering from Nicky Coors. Combs, big body in that batter's box. You don't want to leave him something middle cut, but right now it seems that Coors has had him behind on the fastball. He's going to throw over to first. Not in time as Lansness is backsliding safely. Lansness has 5 stolen bases on the season. We've yet to see anybody try the arm of Kelvin Pereira. Another 0-2 offering here from Coors. As Lansness takes off, it's a swing and a miss. Throw down from Pereira is going to be up the line, but it's going to be interference on Combs, and that'll do it for the inning. So that'll, I believe, count as a runner caught stealing for Kelvin Pereira, and that's interesting way to mow down your first runner in the VBL. A double play, and head to the bottom of the third. Tom Sox still lead 2-0. Jake Levesque, otherwise known as Big Red, is going to lead off here in the bottom of the third inning. Levesque had a couple of tallies in his last game against Purcellville. He's up to 4 for 30 on the season and looks to stay hot here. First pitch is a fastball that misses up in the zone. Levesque, a 133 batting average, but on-base percentage is as high as 350. He has the same amount of walks as strikeouts. 1-0 from Allwine. Fastball that catches the outer edge. Some people will dread a start like this in baseball. You look up at the scoreboard, you see 2 runs, but we're through 2.5 innings and there's no hits. Allwine not giving Big Red a chance to swing as that off speeds up in the zone. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the order has had some troubles for the Lumberjacks over the last few games. But if this part of the order could pick it up, we'd see a run explosion as this one's grounded up the middle. Jackson coming in on, fires to first base. It's a high throw, but Craddock elevates to get it. Number 1 in the bottom of the third inning. Allwine just seems to be living around the zone and creating a lot of ground balls at the moment. Mason Reed now in the batter's box. Yesterday's ball game, he was 2 for 3, worked a walk as well. Last time these two teams squared off, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Allwine's 0 to Reed. Fastball launched into left field. Ream is there for out number 2. That ball just kind of sat up for Ream. I'm sure that Evan Allwine has a little bit in his head for this game. He was an all-star last year in the VBL, but his last start came here at Covington. Hurt himself and hadn't appeared in a game since. He's been solid this season for the Tom Sox, bit back and forth. 0 to Emery Stevens, who takes the first pitch off speed. 1 ball, no strikes. Stevens 3 for 25 on the season, but he's worked well in the extra base hit category. Takes the second pitch strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Line's 1-1. Foul down the third baseline. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. And Allwine has been ideal so far for the Tom Sox. They've gotten those quick runs, and Allwine's gotten some quick outs as well. He's going to get a strike 3 called on the inner edge on an off speed, and that'll do it for the bottom of the third. Evan Allwine quickly going through the Lumberjacks. Head to the top of the fourth. It's still 2-0 Tom Sox. Tom Carrillo leads off the top of the fourth as Nicky Kors comes back out for the fourth inning. His first pitch to Caffarillo catches the outer edge for strike one. After a rough first inning, Kors has seemed to settle in. He had a 1-2-3 second and a 1-2-3 third as well. If he can continue here, it'll definitely help out the Lumberjacks bullpen. That's an off-speed that apparently missed inside. 1-1 strike to Caffarillo. Goes to Georgetown. I know Georgetown traditionally is a basketball school, but all of their facilities very nice there. 1-1 pitch is an off-speed that misses away. So we mentioned that both starters go to Pasco Hernando State College. That's where the coach Lyndon Coleman coaches. Is 2-1 is going to be flown up into right field. Darius Brown, ranging to his right, comes in and makes the catch. Route number one here at the top of the fourth, but Lyndon Coleman. Lucas, you could tell us a little bit about him because you know him personally. You said he's a great guy. He actually played here in Covington, won a championship in the early 2010s. What can you tell us about Lyndon Coleman, who's the coach of both the starting pitchers today?
Yeah, he's the coach at Pasco. I never played under him, but a lot of my good friends played at Pasco this year, and all they said was great things about him. I had a couple interactions with him during the playoffs, and he's a great guy. He's kind of like our coach Rennie, just very American. If I could say there's similar mannerisms and stuff like that. They act the same, they talk the same. But yeah, LC's a great guy. Like, all these guys have nothing but great things to say about him.
Ball, no strikes to Chase Jackson as Kors fires an off-speed that misses away. Jackson, first time up, walked. Caffarillo also walked first time as well, but of course got him to fly out to right. Let's see if he can create a similar story here with Chase Jackson. Of course, it's 2-0. It's a fastball that's going to be grounded straight up the middle. Nobody close there, and went out single for Chase Jackson. I have an interesting story about Seminole State where Chase Jackson plays his college ball. My high school coach, Adrian Pullen, actually started off his college career at Seminole State before he transferred to George Mason. Seminole State, very good community college down there in Florida. So some similarity there between the shortstop for the Tom Stocks and a high school baseball coach. Lucas Ream now the batter. Ream was last out in the top of the first, and he might have the best swing of this ball game. He lined out to the third baseman, Mason Reed. This time it's going to be a ground ball hit to Reed. He throws to second. Frankie Clark has it. Throw to first is not in time. Nearly got a double play. Instead, it'll be a fielder's choice. Chase Jackson ground out at second, thrown out at second base. And now at first. You see plays like that, Lucas, do you get a little bit extra hype? I mean, that looked like a tough grab over there by Mason. Does that, does that feed into your mind as a pitcher?
Yeah, double plays are awesome. Coolest thing ever. And they made that double play yesterday that it bounced off Zayas' chest right into Frankie's arms, and I was just like, dude, that's crazy.
Of course, looking to make it a quick top of the fourth inning. Frankie Clark's there. He flips to Emery Stevens at shortstop, and that'll do it for the top of the fourth. Nicky Course has found it here. Another quick inning. Head to the bottom of the fourth. Lumberjacks need some runs. Clark leads off the bottom of the fourth inning. Lumberjacks need some runs as the Tom Sox lead 2-0. Have an Allwine first pitch off speed that's in the strike zone, and that's why Allwine's been so good today. Really, neither team has hit the ball exceptionally well. Charlottesville has the only hit. Allwine's thrown strikes where Nicky Course hasn't, and that's why Tom Sox have a 2-0 lead. Frankie Clark is the only runner to reach base for the Lumberjacks, and he was gun out at second on a double play. So, Allwine has the Lumberjacks 0 for 9 for the first time through. Frankie Clark has an opportunity to change that here, but it's an 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch from Allwine, a swing and a miss. No swing and a foul tip into the glove of Caffarillo. Caffarillo couldn't hang on, just like that. Extra life for Frankie Clark. Frankie's only struck out 7 times this season. He's been the leadoff guy in the last few games for the Lumberjacks. Here comes Allwine with the 0-2. It's going to be chopped and foul. End up near the third base coach's dugout. And only one base runner for the Lumberjacks today in a double play. As the Tom Sox still pitching exactly in order to the Lumberjacks. Another 0-2 to Clark, and this time another foul tip. Clark doing a good job to stay alive as he bats some bugs out of his face. Frank is a very animated guy, especially if you can see him on the pool table. Baseball, I feel like, is his second hobby. He probably won like 20 times in a row yesterday, and I talked about it yesterday. He beat me 8 times. Yesterday, he probably beat me 10. I mean, it was bad. Allwine with an 0-2. This is going to be flown into center field. Coming in is Neely, ranging back as the second baseman. McCory, it's going to split in between the both of them, and I think that'll be the Lumberjacks' first hit of the ball game. Sometimes it's not about how hard you hit the ball. Sometimes it's about where it goes. You could instantly tell that that was going to be trouble with how quickly Neely was ranging in. McCory having to look over his shoulder. They both stuck the glove out, and it's almost like instead of touching the ball, they just kind of high-fived each other, and the ball found grass. So no out single for Frankie Clark, and just like that, the tying run of the batter's box. And this is great speed at the plate, and at first, third baseman McCullum is in. He turned a double play last time the Lumberjacks had this situation. First pitch misses up to Carroll. Talked about Chris's swing yesterday. It's crazy that he can get so much power off of that back leg. It's a honestly unusual swing just because he stands like a statue when he ends up taking that front leg off the ground. Swings and gives a little bit too much on that 1-0 swing, so 1 ball, 1 strike. When you see swings like this, does it confuse you a little bit, or do you feel like you have a strategy against these?
I mean, sometimes different guys have different strategies for something like that, but one thing about Chris is I've been playing against Chris since I was probably like 13, 14, 15 years old, and he's always swung so hard. One thing I like about him is that he plays so hard. Like, he runs like he's mad at the floor. He swings to put the ball off of KFC. Like, I love that. And he's been like that since he was, 13 years old. He's awesome.
Another throw over to first to Clark. And it's amazing you say that because I feel like something that often comes with that identity is somebody who just swings for the fences every single time is, okay, this guy's going to strike out a lot. Maybe he'll run into one on occasion. Chris doesn't do that. Chris puts the ball in play, and he makes stuff happen with his legs as well. Allwine finally coming to the plate. He misses upstairs, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike.
And if he's got to lay one down, he has no problem laying one down. 2 outs, 2 strikes, it doesn't matter.
Something that this Covington team has done with great success so far this season. McCollum, even with the bag at third. Frankie Clark's going to take off. This one's line just fouled the third base bag. If that one was fair, Frankie and both Chris would be running for a while. Instead, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'd like for Chris to be in high mood after this game, as he said he was going to give me a haircut. I was supposed to get a haircut yesterday, but it just didn't end up working out well. Today would be a good opportunity. The Lumberjacks' possible win, and Chris playing today. Another check on Clark at first. He's back in time. Chris is a guy that you come into the game and you always have high expectations for him. There really hasn't been a matchup this season where he's looked overpowered. And, you talk about how hard he swings the bat. It's not like he has a big strike zone to throw to either. So you're giving him a pitch that more often than not he's going to like to swing at. And another check on Clark at first, and this time it gets away from the first baseman, Craddock. Clark is going to be into second base with ease. An error on the pitcher. Frankie Clark's up at second base. It's funny. That's one of the things that people complain about in baseball is pickoff sometimes. We know now in major leagues they have the pickoff limit, but college that's not really established. Allwine continuing to go over to Clark, who did go on a 2-strike pitch early in the at-bat, but this time it ends up biting Allwine. It's the second error of the ball game for the Tom Sox. Carroll looking to now score Clark from second base. The 2-2 pitch is an off-speed that misses up in the zone. So a full count to Chris Carroll. Carroll, I talked about how many times he's struck out. He's walked more than he's struck out. 11 walks to his 7 Ks. Anything to the right side, most likely score Clark, as that right side of the infield's wide open. Here's a full count pitch to Carroll. Stays out in front and manages to make contact on that slow breaker. Luke Craddock, again, basically the only person on the right side of the infield is the second baseman McCory. He's pinching, holding the bag, making sure that somebody's attentive to Frankie Clark. Great arms in center and in right with Landis and Neely. Full count pitch to Carroll is going to be sent that way to center field. Neely ranging back right in front of the warning track. Frankie Clark will tag. He slipped off the bag a little bit, but Neely's throw is going to be way offline. Frankie Clark's into third base on a good swing by Chris Carroll. Just like that, Cross Yarborough steps into the batter's box. Cross has been the man in the batter's box this season for the Lumberjacks. Today he's 0 for 1 with the ground out. On the season, he is now 16 for 41 with 13 RBIs. Last time these two teams faced each other, he was 1 for 3 with 2 ribbies in that ball game. Perfect RBI opportunity here with Clark at third base. First pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball up in the zone. Plenty of cloud cover today on a day that we didn't know that was going to happen at first. A little bit of rain at around 4 and 5 o'clock. It's died down and you have some beautiful baseball weather. 0-1 pitch to Yarborough. He's going to foul it off his foot. It's quickly 0-2. And now this is a tough spot for Yarborough. Yarborough, I'd consider a fastball hitter. Off speeds, especially stuff to the right side of the plate, he struggled with a little bit. Has got his walk numbers up as he came into yesterday's ball game with 2 walks to 8 strikeouts. Now it's 4 walks to 8 strikeouts, but still, if there's one thing that Cross struggles with, it's staying away from the strikeout. In a count like this, you hope that he can turn things in his favor, all wind up 0-2. Cross a little hobble, too, after fouling that fastball into his back foot. All wind with only 3 strikeouts in the ball game. Here comes a big 0-2 pitch. On the way, and fouled out of play on the right side. All wind went back to the fastball, and Lucas, I mean, he just tripled up right there. What are the chances he goes 4 straight fastballs?
He could. I mean, Cross was a little bit behind that one, but Cross did just missed that one, so I don't know if I'd go back there. Cross is a great hitter. Cross is an awesome hitter.
See if he can win a tough 0-2 battle. All wind. Ready for the windup. Here he comes. It's an off-speed that misses in the dirt away. Good take there by Yarborough. You can still see he's favoring that back leg. Maybe that hit him in the ankle, and that's a very tough spot to get hit. Luckily for Cross, he's DH'ing today, so maybe get him a little knock here. And then after the inning, head back to the dugout and chillax for a little bit. 1-2. It's again grounded off the foot of Yarborough. He's doing a good job to stay alive. And honestly, this is kind of how Cross has been. We go back to his home run that he hit. Well, it's been a while since he hit that home run. I believe it was against Waynesboro at home. No, it wasn't against Waynesboro. It's been a long time.
Culpepper.
It was a Culpepper game, right? Thank you, Lucas. It was a Culpepper game where he hit that home run. As here's the 1-2. It's going to miss thrown away. But in that game, Cross, that home run came on a full count pitch that was similar to an at-bat like this, just constantly making contact on pitches that could have struck him out. He stayed alive and powered one out in the left field. Still staying alive here. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Yarborough. All line comes to the dish. Swing and a foul tip. Caffarella couldn't hang on, and again, still staying alive is Yarborough. Howine came into this AB at 36 pitches, much lower than what Nicky Kors has on the Lumberjacks side. It'd be nice to see not only the Lumberjacks put a run on the board, but maybe make things difficult for all line. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Yarborough. Swung on and missed. Off speed has Yarborough out in front. And that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well-worked AB from Cross. Yarborough isn't enough to score Frankie Clark at third base. So now the inning will come down to Darius Brown. Brown, his first time up, struck out. But he has been incredibly well with runners in scoring position. 10 RBIs. Great speed at third and in the batter's box, so be wary of possibly an infield single. Low pitch to Brown. Thinking third base side as he fouls it into the Charlottesville dugout. Ball's 1 strike. Realistically, this is a team that you want to put the ball in play against. Charlottesville in the season has allowed 22 unearned runs to score. They already have 2 errors in today's ball game. One of Darius is a fastball that misses low and away. These teams against each other are 1-1 on the season. Both winning at their home fields. 1-1 to Darius. Swing and a miss over top of an off-speed. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good news for Lumberjacks is they don't have to face Brandon Dahlman today. Dahlman pitched yesterday for the Tom Sox, but he pitched a few innings at Charlottesville when the Lumberjacks came to town, and he was relentless. 1-2 pitch to Brown. A swing and a miss. No, a swing and a foul tip. Looked like that Brown didn't manage to reach the baseball on that one, but fortunately he does. Comes back to get Caffarello, and there'll be another 2-strike pitch for all line. At the moment, nobody up and warming in the Lumberjacks bullpen, so it looks like Nicky Kors has pitched himself into a few extra innings after a tough start. I'm sure he'd love to see some sort of run support. Brown can do just that with a hit. Here's the 1-2. Off speed that catches the outer edge. Back-to-back strikeouts for Allwine. And the ends of the bottom of the 4th inning. Head to the top of the 5th. Charlottesville leads 2-0. Top of the 5th inning, and Nicky Kors still on the mound for your Lumberjacks. After a rough top of the 1st inning, he's battled through 4 innings. Looks to make it through 5 as Bryce Neely leads off. Neely allowed to center field his first time through. Kors is 0-0 to Neely as a fastball yanked to the dirt. 1-0. So now Kors has figured it out, but limited run support behind him. How does he stay motivated to really continue to pitch well against this Tom Sock lineup?
Of course he's motivated all the time. Of course he's a dog.
Shows it there with the changeup that gets a swing and a miss from Neely. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's funny, I don't know if you know this, but when he pitched at Harrisonburg, the first base coach for Harrisonburg was asking if he threw a knuckleball. And he was asking legitimately if Nicky threw a knuckleball.
That's funny.
I was standing next to Big Red, and jokingly he said, yeah, he does. Swing and a miss there on a fastball, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And then apparently we got word back that his kick change occasionally can have like a knuckleball type of feel.
like a tumble, it's like shaking. It's cool.
See if he goes to that kick change here. It's 1-2 count. So Bryce Neely looking for the first out in the top of the 5th, and he'll get it. 85 goes underneath the bat of Neely for out number 1 to kick off the top of the 5th inning. Najee, on to some more knowledge. I've talked about this a little bit through a couple of games, but obviously Randy Tomlin, the head guy for Charlottesville, and I'm sure you've heard his name before, big league pitcher. But you talk about the changeup that Kors has. Coach Tomlin, he survived off of a really good changeup in the big leagues. He actually is noted to have brung back the Vulcan change to popularity in the 90s. First pitch to Xavier McCory misses inside. McCory is 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Coach Tomlin over there, that's a guy that's coached at all levels. Of course, pitched at all levels too, seeing as how he made it to the majors, but now coaches at Liberty Christian Academy, which is a high school in Virginia. Under the McCory misses low. Before that, he had coached at Liberty after his MLB career, which is where he played his college ball. Coached in the Nationals organization for the Harrisburg Senators. Right around the time that guys like Steven Strasburg were making their ways into the system. 2 balls, no strikes to McCory. Another pitch misses inside, and it's 3-0. First looking to battle back. Actually has had a couple of bats today that were 3-0 when he found it into a 3-2 count. He's going to find a outer edge strike, and it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Corey looking to reach for the first time today. 3-1 from Coors creates a swing and a foul tip into the backstop, and it's a full count. So a full count to a man that's struck out once today. Corey does have more walks and strikeouts. Coors can live around the zone. He could possibly create a second out here in the top of the 5th inning. From 3-0 to 3-2, here's the pitch. It's lifted into right field. Darius Brown ranging back right in front of the fence. Makes the catch. 2 down in the top of the 5th inning. Grayson McCollum, the last chance for the Tom Sox to add another in the top of the 5th inning. McCollum on the day is 0 for 1 with a run scored on a walk. That has been the big difference between the two teams today. Evan Allwine on the mound for the Tom Sox is not giving up a free base. Tom Sox scored 2 on 4 walks in the first inning. Little pitch to McCollum. He's swinging, and it's going to be out of play on the right side. Not often that you see two pitchers from the same school battling it out here in the VBL, but we have a good one today. Of course, his 0-1 to McCollum is a fastball missing up and in. And very fortunately for the Lumberjacks, it's been good as well. It wouldn't have been good if Coors had to get taken out after the first few innings. He's managed to fight through 4 2/3 as he looks for a full 5 innings of work. He should get it here. It's flown into right center field. Darius Brown underneath it for out number 3. Nick Coors. 5 innings of 2-run baseball. Head of the bottom of the 5th where the Lumberjacks look to equalize. 2-0 Tom Sox. Head to the bottom of the 5th where the Tom Sox lead 2-0 over your Lumberjacks. And Lucas, I'm going to introduce you to a little segment that actually started in yesterday's ball game, but obviously you know Baseball Reference because Baseball Reference is where you can find everything in the baseball world. But if you didn't know, if you type in random on the Baseball Reference page, you literally get a random game, random player, anything that revolves around Baseball Reference is Kelvin Pereira. Swinging first pitch against Evan Allwine. Fouls this one out of play on the left side. But today I typed in random. We've got a gentleman by the name of Brendan Little, and I'm curious if you know who Brendan Little is because he's actually a native of the State College of Florida. He played there, and you know anything about the State College of Florida?
State College of Florida, I do know of them, but I did not play them this year. But I know it's a good program up there, down there in Florida.
And he also played at Manatee, Sarasota, and then finally finished off his college career at North Carolina. And won the count to Kelvin Pereira, looking to lead off with a knock. His swing and a miss is a 1-2 count for Allwine. Little is currently a pitcher in the Blue Jays organization. He was drafted by the Giants in the 36th round of the 2015 draft and a first-round pick by the Cubs in the 2017 draft. Pereira swinging and maybe floating this one into center field, but there is Xavier McCory for out number 1. Bring up George Pardo. Pardo on the day is 0 for 1 with a flyout. So Brendan Little made his debut in 2022, he was the 22,732 major leaguer. Low pitch to Pardo is a strike, knees. The ball is 1 strike to Pardo. On line, missing way away with an off speed. On line has really been incredibly efficient around the zone. It has made things pretty difficult today for the Lumberjacks. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pardo. Swings and misses. Didn't really see a whole lot of that off speed. It's 1-2. One looking for its 5th strike out of the ball game, and off speed misses away. Pardo stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's Allwine's 2-2 pitch. Lifted into right center field off the hands of Pardo. Coming in as the right fielder Lansness. He makes the play for out number 2. Jake Levesque, the last chance here in the bottom of the 5th, as Evan Allwine has just been rolling today against the Lumberjacks. Levesque in his first AB grounded out to the shortstop Jackson to lead off the top of the 3rd. First pitch to Levesque misses up in the zone. Ball, no strikes to Big Red. Here comes the pitch. He holds off on a pitch low and away. Did he go? No, he did not. 2 balls, no strikes. Big Red saw his throwing partner from his college at Cloud County and recently commit to Nebraska. Here's the 2-0. Fastball misses up in the zone. Red's still looking to get his hit streak going, but he has been able to reach base a numerous amount of times in the walk category. 8 so far this season. He faces a 3-0 here. 3-0 pitch finds the strike zone. Allwine's back in. Allwine has actually not walked anybody today. In his last outing, he went 6 innings of 7-hit, 4-run baseball against Waynesboro. It's been a different man on the mound today. Levesque trying to change that. The 3-1. It's a fastball that again catches the strike zone, and now it's full. Mentioned that Allwine was an all-star last year in the VBL with a sub-2 ERA. Season's been a little bit different. 13 2/3. He's around 6 earned runs. He's 0-2 this season for Charlottesville. He makes it through this inning. He'll be the pitcher of record. 3-2 pitch is going to be grounded to shortstop Jackson. He's going to have a tough play in the hole. Ranges, makes to make a Jeter throw over there to first. But it's going to be off the bag. It's going to be a single for Big Red, Mr. Jake Levesque. I don't know if Red's going to like me saying this, but he has a couple of nicknames. One that Coach Rennie calls him is Pumpkin. He doesn't really like that nickname. I'll stick to calling him Red. And now at first base, again, Red being Jake Levesque. Mason Reed in the batter's box. Reed had a hard hit fly out in the left field his first time up. Takes the first pitch fastball up in the zone. Mentioned this a few times, but Reed's a guy that's played a couple of different levels of college baseball, and he's played every game he possibly could have so far through his college career. Check on Levesque at first, and what I mean by that is through 4 years of college baseball, he started every single game that he's had the opportunity to. Maybe not started every game, but he's exhausted his red shirts, doesn't have those to his disposal. He was actually technically out of eligibility after only 4 years of play. 1-0 pitch to Reed is up in the zone. Of course, with rule changes coming at the higher levels, you wonder if things will change to the lower levels too, allowing a guy like Mason Reed to see a 5th season. Time taken by Dom Caffarillo after Evan Allwine missed up in the zone twice to Mason Reed. Allwine They've been in the strike zone to practically every batter he'd faced heading into this 2-out part of the bottom of the 5th inning. But then against Jake Levesque, it was a 3-0 count, but still turned over to 3-2. Now against Mason Reed, it's a 2-0 count. So for Mason Reed, simple story, get on base. Be big red at first, be a smart base runner, and if you're anybody in the rest of the order who could possibly come to bat for the Lumberjacks, stay ready. You never know when it's going to be your turn to make the big swing. Neither team has had a big swing this ball game. It's simply been big takes. Both teams have now tallied for hits. Tom Sox actually on the lesser end with only one. Jake Levesque with one of the 2 hits for the Lumberjacks takes a lead off of first base. Mason Reed in the batter's box, ready for a 2-0 pitch from Evan Allwine. Here it comes. Fastball catches the zone. Levesque has stolen 1 base on the season, but I doubt that a first baseman would consider stealing with 2 outs. 2-1 pitch to Reed. Swung on and fouled towards the third base coach's box. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. One was inside to Reed, and he's had a couple of good swings today, really pulling the ball with some velocity off the bat. But unfortunately, all it is a foul ball for strike 2. We go big 2-2 pitch for Allwine. Going to check on Levesque first, who's back in plenty of time. Bullpen seems relatively quiet for the Lumberjacks. Wonder if anybody's going to come out for course in the top of the 6th, but for now, Levesque's going to take off. Well, how about that? I mentioned that Levesque wouldn't really think about stealing, but Caffarillo fumbles the throw. Levesque got a huge lead out there at first base, and it's a stolen base for Levesque. So big 3-2 pitch here from Allwine. He hasn't walked anybody today. Open base at first, runner in scoring position at second. Here comes the payoff pitch. An off speed that's going to catch the zone. Looked like it might have been a little high. Mason Reed can't believe it. But Evan Allwine strikes out his 5th batter of the ball game. Head to the top of the 6th. It's Charlottesville 2, Covington nothing. DeAndre Jones now on the mound for the Lumberjacks. He takes over for Nicholas Corse. Nicky today went 5 innings of 1 hit, 2-run baseball off of 5 walks. DJ is going to get Tommy Lansness to lead off the top of the 6th inning. Lefty-lefty battle here. Lucas, what does DJ need to do to keep posting zeros for the Lumberjacks?
Just keep throwing strikes. DJ's got electric stuff. DJ's awesome up there. He's got to keep throwing strikes. He throws way harder than hard enough. So all he's got to do is locate the off speed, and that's it. He's set.
Presses Lansness inside with the first pitch fastball up and in. It's not a bad miss. DJ's bad misses have come with runners on base. I've seen a couple of wild pitches from him. He has a clean slate here to kick off the top of the 6th inning. His second pitch to Lansness is a fastball in the zone, 1-1 strike. You want to mention that the radar gun is a little bit iffy out there. That pitch showed at 86, but with DJ, I can't imagine that he's ever thrown anything under 88 miles per hour.
We went to our starter on Wednesday is Luke Richards, and on this gun he's usually like 83, 84, 85 maybe. And the other day against Percival he was like 87, 90. So I was like, it kind of sucks because you're just full grunting and you look back and you see 88 and it's just like, bro, what?
Swing and a miss on the 2-1 pitch from Lansness. DJ has a 2-2 count. And it's crazy, too, when you think about it, because we've seen guys like Quinton Wright go out there and throw pitches that reach to 94 on the gun.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Q steps up on a real radar gun and Q's 95, 97. Not like 100%. And Carlos Manzueta, too.
DJ looking for the 2-2 strikeout, misses low in the zone. It's full count to now Tommy Lansness. Comes the full count pitch to Lansness. This is going to be softly lifted out to Emery Stevens at short. It's going to have to make a quick throw. It's in plenty of time. An impressive play by Emery Stevens to start off the top of the 6th inning. How impressive do you think it is for a guy like DJ to be able to step into the batter's box a few times this season and have some big rips?
Yeah, I mean, he did it. He got drafted out of high school as a hitter only. He never pitched ever. He started pitching, I think, last year.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it was the Lynn Scout Day. He was like 92, 95.
Wow.
And when you got that size and you throw that hard, it's hard to just it's hard to not let go of the bat.
Kenny
He
Combs.
can still swing it.
Kenny Combs faces a 2-0 count here. You know, you say that, and it's funny because it translates when you think about DJ's swing. He's very quick with the bat, and, you know, he just kind of has that flexibility, the ability to get down a mountain quickly, has a whippy arm, and shows with that velocity.
Yeah.
Combs swings 2-0, flies one sky-high right field. Darius Brown comes in and makes a running catch for out number 2 at the top of the 6th inning. Last chance here in the top of the 6th inning is Dom Caffarillo. Tom Sox have been blanked since the 1st inning. Neither squad has scored since the 1st inning, as, of course, Covington still has no runs on the board. DJ looking to make it a 1-2-3 inning. His 0 pitch to Caffarillo is an off-speed in for strike 1. DeAndre's very well versed in the video game world as well. I played him in MLB The Show, and he gave me the work. It wasn't a fun game, for me at least. 1 pitch to Caffarillo. Another great off-speed in there, and it's 0-2. So you see those big looping off-speeds for 2 quick strikes. Do you change up here and maybe show Caffarillo the fastball, or do you dare him with another off-speed?
I don't know, maybe bury one or just blow it by him.
Let's see what DJ goes to. Here comes the 0-2.
Good pitch.
Back to the off-speed. This time Caffarillo able to lay off, but, of course, now everything in DJ's disposal. He could go with that high fastball. He could maybe even think about dropping an off-speed in the zone, see if Caffarillo wants to lay off of another one. Either way, it's all about throwing a strike here from DJ. Here's the 1-2 pitch, an off-speed that gets a swing and a miss. That'll do it for the top of the 6th inning. Head to the bottom of the 6th. Tom Sox lead 2-0. This ballgame's been a pitcher's duel since the top of the first inning. Tom Sox struck first with 2 runs, but nobody's been able to score since then. Emery Stevens going to look to change that as he leads off the top of the 6th inning. Emery struck out to end the bottom of the 3rd last time up. Only has 1 AB today. Evan Allwine has been rolling. His first pitch to Stevens. He's going to show bunting. Going to elevate it foul for strike 1. Good idea to try to get the bottom of the 6th rolling, but Evan Allwine just continues to be fortunate on the mound. So far today, Allwine's gone 5 innings of 2 hit, 5 strikeout baseball. Probably the most impressive part of his stat line. No walks. It's a very simple separator between the 2 teams. Covington has walked 5. Tom Sox have walked nobody. The ball is 1 strike to Stevens. Allwine to the plate. An off-speed drops in, and that is where Allwine has been great today. Even for ones that hang up a little bit, Jacks have just been unable to really let go a good swing. Stevens faces an 0-2 pitch. Allwine gets him with a fastball. 6 strikeouts. Now Frankie Clark bats for the 3rd time. Clark, one of 2 Lumberjacks to reach base. He's done it twice. First time doesn't really count as he reached on an error. Second time through, he singled. Made it all the way to 3rd base where he was stranded. Takes the first pitch off speed for strike 1. You could see it even with Frankie Clark's takes. Not really comfortable on that off speed, just kind of watching it in. The one from Allwine, that one away. Seen a couple of really good swings on Allwine's fastball. They've just been right to somebody. Let's see if Clark can put some elevation into a ball where nobody's at. 1-1 is an off speed that misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Clark waits 2-1 offering from Allwine. High chopper that's going to go foul on the 3rd base side into the coach's box, and it's 2-2. Clark from Western Oklahoma State College. He had a phenomenal season. He's only a freshman. Monster numbers. After a slow start in the VBL, he's putting up monster numbers here. Going to make it another monster day. 2-2 pitch from Allwine. Grounded out to the shortstop Jackson. Is going to be cut off by the 3rd baseman McCollum. Throw to first is in time for out number 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Allwine today has 3 1-2-3 innings. Chris Carroll stands between Allwine and a 4th 1-2-3 inning. McCollum back at the 3rd base bag. You wonder if Chris is possibly thinking about laying one down just to get a base runner. Allwine's 0-0. Chris takes an off-speed for strike 1. And that is where Allwine has lived all day long. You wonder if somebody could just manage to sit back on that off-speed and poke it into right field. Allwine's 0-1 to Carroll. An off-speed in for strike 2. Allwine 1 pitch away from his 7th strikeout and his 4th 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. Here comes the pitch. Carroll lifts one into left field. Coming in his ream, he's there. Evan Allwine, 6 innings of 2 hit, no walk baseball. At the top of the 7th, Charlottesville still leads 2-0. Top 7 we go. Chase Jackson leads off for the Tom Sox as one of these teams looks to be the first to put a run on the board since the first inning. Deontay Jones back out on the mound. First pitch fastball misses way up and away. Chase Jackson has reached base both times today. The Tom Sox. No pitch from Jones is in the dirt. The type of misses you want to see for a bullpen guy in a second inning of work. One way up and away and then another spiked. Chase Jackson, his first time up, an RBI walk. Second time through a single right up the middle. He is the only hit today for the Tom Sox as he takes a fastball up and away, and it's 3-0 to Jackson. We start to get some more darkness in the sky. Nobody warming for the Lumberjacks. Here comes DJ's 3-0 pitch. It's an off-speed that misses low. 4-pitch walk to Chase Jackson to start the top of the 7th inning. Bring up Lucas Ream. Ream today 0-for-2 with a fielder's choice and a line out. He's not hit into a double play this season. Only has 2 stolen bases, so maybe that alludes to possible slowness in the batter's box that will allow Lumberjacks to turn 2. Ream's going to show bunt. It's going to be a wild pitch that gets away from Pereira. Jackson's a wide turnaround second base. He'll stop up there, but double play now out of order as the first pitch fastball gets away from Pereira. Ream showed bunt there as Mason Reed now plays even with the bag. In fact, both corners are in, but you wonder if it's necessary. Maybe Ream's still thinking about bunt. Jackson's going to take off for third base as Jones was out of the windup. Jones was out of the windup with a runner on base, and that'll allow Jackson to get to third. Infield's going to come in here to try to cut off that run, but 1-1 strike to Lucas Ream. Stolen base for Jackson. Here comes the pitch to Ream. Swing and a miss. Huge second strike. His strikeout here would maybe add a little bit of ease to what's already been a very tense inning. TJ looking for a huge second strikeout. Here it comes, the pitch. A swing and a miss from Ream. A huge strikeout to get the first out here in the top of the 7th inning. Bring up Luke Craddock. Craddock's put the ball in play both times. Both ground outs. Last time up, it was hit directly to the second baseman, Frankie Clark. I wonder how easy it would be to get the out at home with good speed at third and Chase Jackson. First pitch to Craddock misses up and away. Craddock against Harrisonburg. That was his last game. He was 1-for-3 with an RBI and 2 walks. 1-1 pitch to Craddock. No pitch, excuse me. Now it's 1-1 as he swings and misses and a fastball 1 away. Charlottesville has been a team to beat in the South after a very rough start. 7 losses to begin the season. They beat Covington, and since that game, they've been 9-4. 1-1 pitch to Craddock, fouls one out, and again, another opportunity for a strikeout with a runner at third. Ball 2 strikes to Craddock. After losing to the Lumberjacks on Tuesday, it's been 2 straight wins for the Tom Sox, both of the run rule variety. The score doesn't read that at the moment, but they have managed to keep the Lumberjacks off the board. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Craddock, up and away. 2 strikes. Collectively as a team, Charlottesville, even with how hot they've been, has not hit exceptionally well. In fact, they're dead last in the league in hits. But a solid pitching staff that's got them with the 4th best ERA is carrying the load. A solid pitching staff here in Covington is silencing the Tom Sox bats as Jones has a 2nd straight strikeout with a runner at third and nobody down. It's now a runner to third with 2 down, and Bryce Neely the last chance to score Jackson. I'm sure that Randy Tomlin's having a coach's nightmare in his head there at third base. I mean, this is as simple a situation as it can get. Let's see if the Tom Sox can Managed to score Jackson as DJ misses away to Neely. It was a tough at bat against Jackson. Really couldn't find the strike zone. Since then, he's dialed in. 1-0 pitch to Neely, finds his own. DJ kind of quick pitched him right there. Let a little bit off of the fastball just to find the strike zone. It's at 86 that we've been seeing. That one was 83. Kind of gave a sly smile as he has the count at 1-1. Here's the pitch to Neely. Swing and a miss. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. I mean, what's working for DJ all of a sudden? It seems like nobody could see this.
Looks like just confidence now.
Stay confident against Neely. Neely's already struck it out 16 times this season. A huge 1-2 pitch from DeAndre Jones. Here it comes, the pitch. Somehow Neely got his bat to it way out front. We'll stay 1-2. Neely's managed 5 hits this season, 3 of them of the extra base variety. Jones trying to miss somebody's bat for the 3rd straight time. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Neely.
See ya. Oh.
Just outside. Jones thought he had it, so did Emery Stevens, the shortstop, but we'll have to do it again. That outside edge has been inconsistently called. That one might have missed just a little bit.
Maybe he missed the middle. I like to see that one too.
Here's another opportunity for DJ. The 2-2 pitch. That one's in there. 3 straight Ks with a runner at 3rd and nobody down. Maybe that's the momentum the Lumberjacks needed. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Still 2-0 Charlottesville. Here we go, bottom of the 7th. Stretch is over. It's time for the Jacks bats to get hot. DeAndre Jones escapes the difficult situation in the top of the 7th. And then Allwine back out for the bottom half. As Cross Yarborough leads off, first pitch swinging, fouls one down the 3rd base side. Allwine today has been untouchable. 6 innings of 6 strikeout baseball. He's only allowed 2 hits. Neither of them hit exceptionally well either. And of course, the big stat is the fact he hasn't walked anybody. But 1 pitch to Yarborough. It's an off-speed that misses up and away. And that's the pitch that, if the Lumberjacks can see that up, and when it's in the zone, really get a good swing off of it, I think this could be a different ball game. But today, Allwine's just landed that when he's needed to every single time. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch to Yarborough. Again, missing away. So you see a guy like this, Allwine, going late into the ball game. You know he's probably laboring just a little bit. 2 off-speed misses. What does he go to here?
Heater.
Necessary heater here from Allwine. Can Yarborough catch it? The 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball up in the zone. And catches a swing and a miss from Cross. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cross today 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Allwine looking to victimize Cross for a 2nd time, and overall the 7th time in the ball game. Here comes the 2-2. Out into the netting behind us. I should say behind Cross, and now we stay 2-2. Cross it to Darius Brown, who struck out twice, and then Kelvin Pereira, who's flown out in his two ABs. All winds 2-2. Again, fouled off on the right side, and the more pitches you see against a guy like this, of course, assuming that Allwine's done when the runner reaches base, you want to get Allwine out of this ball game as quickly as you can.
Cross is a tough out.
This guy, Luke is saying that. I mean, he's right. Cross just every single time seems to make contact and true strike at bats. Can he do it again? Doesn't need to. There is that fastball miss. That wasn't even a fastball. That was a off speed of a variety from Allwine that misses up in the zone. And an opportunity for Cross to maybe work a free bag for the first time against Allwine. If anything, you got to avoid the strikeout. Huge payoff pitch here from Allwine. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Fastball, inner edge, pass Cross for out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th. 90 pitches now for Evan Allwine, and
Let him go.
no movement so far from the Charlottesville dugout, even after a long AB. Of course, when you got a guy like Randy Tomlin as your head coach, you're going to trust his decisions. You're going to stick with Allwine here for Darius Brown. No pitch to Brown. He's going to show bunt. He's going to lay it down right in front of the catcher. Caffarillo comes up throwing it, and it's in time. That one just didn't really have any juice on it. And I hate to be this guy. I understand the idea, but you see an 8-pitch at bat. That's a 1-pitch out. Maybe helping out Allwine just a little bit. Last chance here for the Lumberjacks in the bottom of the 7th. And most likely the last batter Allwine will face if Allwine gets Pereira out. Well, actually, I'd say either way, this might be the last guy that Allwine faces. It's Kelvin Pereira. Low pitch is an off-speed that misses up. Fortunately for the Lumberjacks, Pereira is most definitely a guy who can turn this game over in a heartbeat. Had a home run and a double yesterday. Both had plenty of juice. Here's the 1-0. Off-speed that catches at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pereira still getting accustomed to Covington, Virginia. Fouls this one off into the third base coach's box, and it's 1-2. And it's funny, baseball is such a complex sport in so many different areas, but right now we're seeing the simple side of it. You throw strikes with good stuff, you're going to see good results. Allwine, a pitch away from 7 innings of scoreless baseball. Pereira looking to spoil that. Here comes the 2-strike offering. It's up and in. It's one of those games you kind of felt it from the bottom of the first inning. We get our first guy to reach in Frankie Clark, and then a double play after that. And since then, Allwine has been breezing through. Another 2-strike offering. Looking to get Pereira. Here it comes. Third base side. It's going to be fair. Coming around it is McCullum. His throw to first is in time, and Evan Allwine has gone 7 innings of 7 strikeout, no-run baseball. Head to the top of the 8th inning. Tom Sox still lead 2-0.